Well, everyone, it seems like restaurant equipment is the theme of the week this week at the repair shop. And I've actually repaired this oven a number of times. I've learned a good number of things. I did one thing to it that when it failed, it ran a risk of hurting somebody. So let's talk about everything that I know about these. First of all, this is an Avantco oven from the local coffee shop, Camellia Coffee House. This is, I believe, the house brand of Webstaurant. And Webstaurant seems like no matter how, if you order the same part twice, it always seems like it comes different, which really annoys me. The first heating element on this burned out after a year, and now this one actually has two heating elements. There's a top boiler heating element, and that one never seems to have any issues. It's the back one, the circular one, which goes around the fan. And the first one, this is not the first one, this is the second one. The first one, it heated up so much, these mounts no longer held the coils, and the coils started drooping. The biggest culprit is actually the center coil. The center coil ends up drooping about an entire inch. It hits the fan, starts making banging noises, and if they don't know how to fix it and just let it go, it kills the fan, and it kills the heating element. So with the second one, I put it in, and I came back a few months later, and I learned that it was starting to make that sound again. So the center coil, since it's furthest away from the two structures, was falling out of these clips. Now, this was an unfortunate reality of it. They didn't have a second oven, and they just wanted it fixed then. They needed it then. So I bent this coil back. I knew it was dangerous to do that once it's already been heated up, because most of the metals in here, most of the items in here, they anneal and their properties change once they heat up, let alone heating up multiple times. But I got it back into position, and I added this Kanthal heating element wire from a kiln. You can probably use baling wire if you wanted, steel wire, but I had that, and so I figured I would use that. It worked great until it arced and blew a hole, or at least melted quite considerably, through the front face of this. And if anybody had been touching this for that 5 seconds it took for the breaker to trip, they could have been shocked by 240 volts. So if you get a heating element that appears to have this type of connector on it, add the wire before it droops. Or if you have this on your oven and you have this type of connector holding this type of brace holding it, add the wire without bending it. The issue was bending it once it had already been hot and started to droop. Now, interestingly enough, third time's the charm, they've changed the design now, so you don't have to do that. Well, look at that. Another thing to keep in mind, too, is I think they keep confusing part numbers, because they have a 120 volt model of this, they have a 240 volt model of this, and they might be just putting them in the wrong boxes. I don't know. Well, this one, whenever I put it in, this section was too long, and this side of it was too close to the fan. The center of the fan was like over here, and that was obviously not right. And then these were too long. The original heating element wires came out to about here. So now the wires on the back of the machine were quite tight. Putting this one in, the third one, I see that finally it's actually pretty good. The fan is now centered in it, so if it were to droop, it wouldn't be a problem. Not as much, anyway. And thankfully, now that they have these good combs, or whatever you call them, little braces, that go fully around the heating element cable, well, I don't have to worry about that at all. So, in the back, I will admit, they made the wires a little bit too tight, especially since later on they made these longer. So instead of the heating element wires having to go to here, they now have to go up to here. So what I did was I rearranged the power block just to make it work. Down here is just a ceramic connector that has power going through it. These red wires were originally over here, and the white wires were in the middle. So I just moved the white over to here so it's a little bit closer, and moved the red over here since there was plenty of slack. Of course, I predict that everything that you have will just be different somehow. Now, one thing to keep in mind, this model also has water injection. So pastries, things like that, keeping things without getting too hot or crispy. they can put a little bit of moisture back into it by pressing a button on the front. It pumps water through here, and this bar stops this from coming up off of the fan. So you do have to disconnect this in order to get this off. Now, one thing I want to do is I want to get this back on, but I also want to cut this up so we can get an idea of what it looks like in there. So if you're repairing one of these for yourself, maybe you're doing like I do where you just charge the coffee shop $75 to replace the part, then you'll have a better understanding of what goes on inside of here. And plus, I have not cut these up either. So let's get on that. Just realized that's probably a very bad thing to do, but I think it's just like a ceramic of some kind, so hopefully not too deadly. Now what you might notice is that is a little coil. I've seen other people do this, but I never done it myself. Yeah, so you can see this actually solidifies itself quite a lot. Probably of a material much like tungsten. So this wire is insulated by this powder from this case. And so I presume there's also probably an inert gas in there, such as nitrogen, or, well, not nitrogen, but argon. Now here's a comparison of what happened. So this must have gotten too close to the side, which you can see it's already kind of close to begin with. And it started arcing. This ceramic material was like sand, and it turned into a glass. Like so. And the connection kept going until it no longer could connect to the other side of it, and instead started arcing to ground. So that's the failure mode, and that's also how they operate. Yet another annoying thing is that these never come with the screws, so you have to save the original screws. I think since I have this heating element out, I might as well remove these side braces and then do a little cleanup with the wire wheel. I think they deserve that. And now as for the marks on the glass, funny enough, a straight razor, a little sharp, exacto blade, whatever they're called, takes that dirt up really easily. It's these little things that you can do that make the customer really happy. Oh. Okay, well. Just made more work for myself. Let's see, does this one undo? Yeah, that one does. We wire wheel these. There we go. That's intelligence at play. Maybe I should scrub that too while I'm at it. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty cleaned up. I was about to take this around to the front, and then I realized I totally forgot to clean this part. How can I forget that? It's going to be right in the front of everybody's view. motion's happening, so that's a good place to wrap it up. So I've tried heating it up with a torch and getting it off with a pair of vice grips. It didn't really work, so I'm going to weld a stainless steel nut onto the stainless steel threads. Wow, okay, so the threaded insert is stuck to the nut and not to the stainless steel. Okay, well that does it. This oven's a little bit too big. It'd be better to have two people do this. So you don't have to just do it by feel, but oh well. Oh, so close. I can make it work, but I don't like making it work. It's not fun. Yeah, that's just terrible. Why do they make them so short? Except contact with the back. Oh, we don't have very much room between the back piece of metal and this now. This goes back even further. Ah, they keep changing these things. So this should bend right here. This is at risk of touching the metal frame. It does have a gap of like 5 millimeters, but that's really close for 240 volts. Gosh. Now that we have the heating element in, the last thing to do is to clean up this and to clean that up. Oh, that's interesting. They made these too wide, so now you can't put this down all the way. Can they get anything right? This is the problem with changing your models every single year to subvert repairs. You can't have repair parts. I give up. I need a longer screwdriver to look around and see the back of it, but hand tight with a screwdriver is perfectly fine. Didn't realize how this base is really just held on by these back screws. You know what? We should clean up this mess inside of here. I've decided to try to open this up so we can clean underneath this glass, but don't know if it's really possible. Oh, I got it. So you undo this. Okay. And then we can clean inside of it. Well, I'm going to put this back together, and then I'll take this to the coffee shop, and I'll use their basement sink, their wash basin. Sorry, I thought you were.
No, go, yeah.
I thought you wanted to do like a little switcheroo thing.
Great. I was going to help you.
Hmm? Wow. Thank you very much for letting me know about that. Top of oil.
Top of oil, yeah.
Well, guys, that's pretty much it. We've done the burn-in test. I had no idea that those coils went to red hot. No wonder they started drooping and failing. Well, oh well. The smell is mostly left. We cleaned the glass. I'm happy with that. Most of all, the steam function should work.